Hello, Robert. Hello, Simon. How are you guys doing? I swear to you, I do not know what is up with autofocus. Focused. Like the autofocus. So random. Maybe you have to press autofocus at the point that you're at. I thought autofocus just meant focus all the time. Whatever. Scout with a missile launcher. Did someone say Hakuna Matata? No, someone said hello from Kuala Lumpur. Okay, looked like Hakuna Matata. I'll pay the pit. Mic is very crackly, is it? That means it's still crackly. I bought a different microphone cable because I thought the cable it came with sounded really crackly. But apparently the new ones sound crackly too. I don't know why it's doing that. I always have I always have issues with microphones. Is this microphone any better? Because this microphone cost 10 times as much as my old microphone. The old microphone I had was like, well, not quite 10 times. Like over 8 times more expensive than the one I was using before. So if it's not any better, I don't know what to do anymore. Just kill me when it comes to microphones. Hello, Phil. Hello from Colorado. I have a couple of little things I want to get done today. I've got the GT in like 2 weeks. I'm like convinced. I submitted a list this morning for the GT. I might change it, but I'm just going to take the list that I've been playing on stream. And if I'm playing the GT list on stream, then this guy needs some texture paint because he has not been based. So I need to base this guy and I need a scout with a missile launcher. I think that's all I'm needing for this tournament. So it sounds maybe a little cleaner. I don't want a microphone that sits right in front of me. I guess that's like what Valrak has, where he's like got the microphone in his face. I mean, that's fine and all, but I have a lot of other stuff. I move around a lot. I don't want a microphone that sits right in front of my face. I am allowed to make bad decisions. That's what I do. So hopefully it's a little cleaner. I'll keep experimenting with it. I'll keep changing settings. Hopefully it is good. Or hopefully it's going to be better. At least in the initial tests I did, it did sound a little bit better. I don't know if it sounded 8 times better. It's definitely a much more professional microphone. I would say the microphone I was using before wasn't even... I wouldn't even necessarily say that was a professional. It was just a microphone. This one is at least a professional microphone. Yeah, unless you have the microphone right in front of you, your quality will be limited. Well, then this is the best. I guess this is the best option because I don't know people that have microphones right in front of them while they're also painting. I don't know how they do that. I already feel like it's difficult to paint on stream sometimes with like maybe other people don't use a magnifying glass, but my eyesight's really bad these days. Like I feel like I can't paint without my magnifying glass. So how was everybody? Did you have a good New Year? Have you all recovered? Did anybody drink as much as I did? I felt so bad on the 1st, by the way. Like when I first woke up on the 1st of January, I felt terrible. And pretty much all the time while I was doing the gym, because I did the gym on the 1st of January, I felt terrible the entire time I was in the gym. Every exercise felt difficult. Things that I normally quite enjoy just felt painful. But once the gym was done, and like I got out of the gym and had a coffee and had a shower and all that, man, I felt like a new man afterwards. It was 1 AM in Sydney. I was going to bed, but the Blood Angel stream started. Well, sorry, man. You didn't miss too much. You just missed copious, like, stupid amounts of drinking. I was doing like shots of coffee liqueur and nonsense. I don't even know why. It wasn't. I don't even think anyone was egging me on to do the shots. I just did some shots of coffee liqueur because that's fun. Apparently on New Year. So my wife said to me, like, last night we were going to watch a movie that she got for Christmas. She was like, "Are you going to be drinking?" I was like, "No." I did all my drinking on that one night. That's me. I'm good. I don't want, you know, like, I'll have a taste of what you're drinking, but I'm not having, not for like 3 months. So yeah, I need breaks between. Like, I'm not a young man anymore. If I have an alcoholic drink, I need a break or whatnot. Way more people from Australia. Greetings, Australia. I'd like to visit Australia one day. I got family in Perth. Just super difficult to get over there, especially with the kids. Yeah, I would like to visit Australia. How is the 40k scene in Australia? How do you enjoy it? I'm trying not to hit too much of his feet that are already painted with texture paint, because that's always a pain in the arse to clean up afterwards, isn't it? Hello, Eternal Crusader. Yeah, I'm just here for a little while. I felt like I submitted my list this morning. I've got GT on the 17th, so like 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks actually, 2 weeks today. So I submitted a list this morning for it. I might change it, but I think that's going to be my list. I don't know if I feel as confident about the list that I submit. Like last time I went to the GT, I felt pretty confident. I felt like my list was in a really good spot. I don't think I feel as confident this time around. I feel my list is okay. It's got the 9 Sangre Guard in it. It's got the double Impulsor. It's got Company Heroes. It's got Captain with them. No Reavers, unfortunately. No Suppressors. Got a Vindicator tank. Got a Predator tank. Got a Ballistus Dreadnought. So it's kind of a standard-ish Blood Angels list. A bit of a mix of melee and fire support. Got no Death Company, unfortunately, because I just don't like the Death Company at the moment. I mean, I think Death Company are still totally playable if you play them with Lamartas plus 10 guys, but I already played Dante with a big squad of guys. I don't know if I feel like I want to play Lamartas and a big squad of guys as well. I'm more of a Dante fan than a Lamartas fan, I guess. I just think Dante's really good in combat, and Lamartas is kind of like very average in combat, right? Plus, people precision my characters as well. I mean, Dante gets precisioned anyway, so I can't imagine Lamartas just gets precisioned. Ugh. So yeah, I've submitted a list, and I don't feel super confident about it, but regardless, it's good to get to another GT. It's been a little while. I was looking on Google Maps where I got to drive to this morning and stuff like that, so after a little bit of a holiday, it's time to get right back in the swing of things. I need to figure out a tactics video for this Friday. I think I've got an idea of one that I'm going to make, so it's good to get a recharge though, right? Because like towards December, middle of December, I was feeling pretty burnt out. You know, like just work all the time, work in the evenings. My day job is really busy in December because the office closes for a couple of weeks, so everyone's got crap they need to get finished. So I was feeling really burnt out in December, whereas like today I woke up and was like thinking about what tactics video I need to make for Friday, and I was like, oh cool, I'm excited to make a video. So, you know, like sometimes when you're a one-man band as I am on YouTube, it can be weird to try and take a holiday, or or it can feel weird to try and take some time off. But I guess like in December I was not excited about making a video for Fridays, right? Because like, you know, you've been making videos all year, blah 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 blah. So starting to think about it again and getting excited to make new videos is a good thing. So I've had my fill. I'm just gonna say I've had my fill of chocolate. I've certainly eaten too much chocolate this holiday. Feels like every day I've had chocolate. So it's good. Honor Guard, what type of theme of terrain are you going for the base? I do sort of like this arid theme, whatever you want to call it. I use Armageddon Dust, then I use what's the name of the paint? Agrax Earthshade, and then I wash it with like Tyrant Skull. It's one of the standard ones that they have guides for on the Games Workshop website, honestly. And it's one that I've used for very many years, I guess. So that's how I do bases. Armageddon Dust, Agrax Earthshade, Dry Brush with Tyrants. Did I say Tyrant White? I think it's called Tyrant Skull. Tyrant Skull? I think that's right. Yeah, Tyrant Skull, this one. It's like an off-white. Cambo! I will make a video on Reavers, don't you worry. But Reavers are not going to make it into my tournament list, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Cambo. I'll make do you know what, once I've made the video and we know all the maths, then I might be more tempted to put them into the tournament list, because they might look better on paper than I think they are. Lace has been doing 3 squads of Sanguinary Guard. All 6-man Lace, or what size is a squad? I've just moved from 1 to 2. I do a 6 with Dante, and I do a 2 with a captain who has the Gift of Foresight enhancement. I kind of like that. Paul says mental breaks are important. Yeah, you don't really realise how important mental breaks are sometimes. So, yeah, like I said, I hadn't been excited to do a Friday video for probably not that long, probably just a couple of weeks. Just work being busy at Christmas. I had to stay late in the office, like, not every day, but like, let's say in December I had to stay late in the office, like, there's like 20 days of work in December. I probably stayed late in the office like 18 of the 20. So I was like staying late in the office and then coming home and then being tired and then doing stuff with the kids and then trying to make a tactics video, and it's just a bit much, I guess, in December. December always kind of gets like that for us. So 3 squads of 3. Xandri Dust as well. Armageddon Dust is basically Xandri Dust with this pigment in it, right? With the I don't know what you call, with the texture in it. It's the same color. Like if you need to touch up Armageddon Dust, you can just use Xandri Dust, right? Like they are the same paint. Armageddon Dust just has like these little bits of grit through it. So you could possibly do this cheaper by just buying Xandri Dust and just throwing, like, I think it must be sand or something they throw inside it. Like it's not rocket science, right? It's literally sand or something that gives the paint some texture. Bases are really easy, man. You just have to dive in and just do them. They're not hard. There's a whole, like, Citadel have a guide on their website of all the different combinations of texture paint you can use. So I would just use one of those. It's pretty easy. Sindri, hello everybody from the States. Well, hello to you too. I'm not in the States, but thanks for excluding me. The chaplain's looking good. This chaplain is very early. I'm just putting some base paint on him, but thank you. But yeah, so I'll, like this scout, for example, I'll just paint his base with Xandri Dust to start with. And then I can go over it with the texture paint. Kevin says, GM from my work hotel in Boston, staying over the weekend. Hello Kevin, how are you? Peter, I just invested in suppressors and reavers, so I'm looking forward to giving them a run. Oh, cool. Did you... Suppressors and reavers, did you have to buy that big giant set to get the suppressors? Like, how did you get suppressors, or did you manage to get some on eBay? Because I think the problem with suppressors was people were struggling to figure out how the hell you actually get some of them, because they're only in like a big giant box of like £100 a model. Same as like the Judici are, I guess. So has anyone had any new fun with the what's the name of the detachment? The Angelic Inheritors. Sorry. Is that right? Inheritors, yeah. I think because my GT is in January, I think as soon as that GT goes past, because I'm obviously going to run Sons of Sanguinius to it, as soon as that GT passes me by, I'll probably at least one time get Angelic Inhibitors on the channel. I still haven't done the Death Company list on the channel. I was wanting to do that battle, so hopefully we can maybe try and get that battle in the new year as well. So Death Company detachment battle report, the Angelic Inhibitors battle report, and then dare I say it, an Eldar battle report. And for the first time ever, I'll have the Xenos army. If anyone's been sleeping under a rock, I got offered a Xenos army over Christmas, fully painted, like 5,500 points for maybe like 15% of what it was worth. Like, it was a crazy good deal. So I have a giant, I have 5,500 points of Eldar now, fully painted. And it's like a Christmas present to myself. We need a game after the GT of the Librarius detachment? Doing what? Like the Stern Guard nonsense? Like, what? I don't actually know if I own enough Librarians to make that viable. Cambo, why? I have a Librarian Phobos armor. I maybe have... I feel like I've only got one regular Librarian. And then I've maybe got 3 Terminator Librarians. Yeah. Oh, maybe I've got 2 regular Librarians. Is it... Can you make that detachment work with only 6 Librarians? Oh, just for the misery? Well, let me try and do the Blood Angels detachments first, because I do actually want to try Angelic Inhibitors. I think when I make my Angelic Inhibitors list, I'm going to go Terminator heavy. Because I like the fact that I like the idea of Terminators rerolling hits and wounds of 1, and I have a lot of old Firstborn Terminators. I don't know if you noticed when I was making Terminators on the New Year's Eve stream, but I think I have... I'd be surprised if I didn't already have 20 of those Terminators with Stormbolters and Bolt Gun. Stormbolters and Power Fists, sorry. I think I got probably 20 of them. So 20 of them along with the 5 new ones that I was making. So 25 Terminators maybe. Robert said I have a box of Reavers still in the box from a year ago. You know what? I've got 5 Reavers that are half painted. From like 5, I think it's more than 5 years, honestly, it's like 8 years, isn't it? Bought some Sigmar blind boxes at Target last night, just for something to do in the hotel. No, that's cool. I like the blind boxes. I like that they did those made to order of the Terminator blind boxes. I thought that was cool as well. So if you guys do get a minute tonight, it's the afternoon. If you guys do get a minute this afternoon, and you would be willing to press the like button on the stream, that would be super appreciated. I know I haven't done anything too exciting on YouTube for like 10 days or so, but likes still do help ever so much, so I appreciate it. So I don't really, I think, I was going to say, I don't really know what my goal is. Like, have you guys set goals yet for 2025 in terms of Warhammer? You know, like, what models are you trying to finish? Is there a tournament you're trying to get ready for? I'm like, in the last couple of years, I've got like super I wouldn't say invested, but like, I've got super like interested in like how to have more motivation and how to get stuff done and how to just be more productive and stuff like that ever since COVID, right? And one of the things that I read, do you know what, I think this is a scout with just a regular Space Marines missile launcher like stuck onto his arm, because that shoulder pad is way too big to be a scout shoulder pad. So I think this is a bit of a gnarly, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's way too big a shoulder pad to be a scout one. Anyway, one of the things that I read was like, if you write your goals down, like anywhere, they did some research that says if you write your goals down, you are 42% more likely to achieve your goals simply by writing them down. And I guess by writing them down, in some ways you make them tangible and you can look at them regularly and you can remember them, etc, etc. So my thought is, if you've got some hobby goals for this year and you want to hit them, then apparently just by writing them down, which I guess is going to take you like 2 minutes, right? Maybe less. In my house, probably take 2 minutes to find a pen, so 3 minutes. 2 minutes to find a pen, write down your goals, and that apparently will give you a 42% better chance. There's some mad study at like at university or whatnot where they picked like 200 people and made them do the same thing, and they'd half of them write their goals down and half of them didn't, and the ones that wrote their goals down, 42% of them. Eternal Crusader is going to finish my Blood Angels army and Dark Angels army, sell off my Nades and Necrons, build 3,000 point Emperor Children Force. There you go. So write that shit down, dude. Unless you are 100% super motivated and you do not need any help, then don't bother. Yes. But yeah, no, I have written down a goal for the YouTube channel, but I need to write down a goal. I need to figure out what my goal is for my. Maybe I'm going to try and like. I had those 6 Outriders that was in progress on, so maybe I should finish all 6 Outriders and something else, because 6 Riders is not enough of a goal. Do you know what? I've got a Ballistus Dreadnought. I've got 2 Ballistus and a Brutalis. Maybe I need to finish. But also, don't set your goal like a. You know, I was telling my wife about this, and she's like, "Oh, my goal is going to be this," and I was like, "Yeah, don't set your goal so far away. Like, if you set it too far away, then it becomes meaningless. You still need to set realistic goal, but you will be more likely to achieve it if you write it down." Good afternoon, Lamartis. My goal for 25 is to finish painting out my current 2000 list and maybe my enter first tournament. Good goal to have, Robert. It's a bit daunting entering your first tournament, honestly. It's a good thing to do. You know, like, I was very nervous going to my first tournament because I guess I thought that I would do well. Spoiler, you won't do well in your first tournament. You need to go to like 10 tournaments just to get over the, you know, just to get over the hump of like, I feel comfortable playing at tournaments and I go to tournaments all the time. And so, you know, like, if you ever want to win a tournament in the future, that was kind of my goal when I first was like, I am going to win 32 player tournament, or I'm going to win any tournament, I guess, something like that. You know, if that's your goal, then you need to be like, right, maybe first year I'm gonna enter 5 tournaments, you know, or I'm gonna go to 5 tournaments and I'm gonna try really hard to make 50 points in every game or something, you know. I'm never gonna give up. I make fun of my sister, but she does vision boards with pictures and everything on them every year. We get laughed, but she becomes the most successful sibling. Well, there you go. There you go. Science is proven. You know, it's good to have goals. So I wrote down like some goals for like my YouTube channel in terms of like subscribers and stuff like that. And now I need the goal for like what am I doing with my hobby stuff. Because I feel like I didn't set a goal last year, or I didn't have, like, I guess I was all over the place a little bit last year. 10th edition came out, wasn't really sure what I was doing, everything was changing. Models that I was painting got half finished and then changed and all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, need a better goal this year for sure. Hey, Ouch, how you doing? What's your goal for the hobby in 2025, Ouch? Hello, Marcel. Hello, Highland Phoenix. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you guys have all recovered from the first, or the evening of the 31st. I've recovered. Do you know what? I will never in my life watch the stream back of myself when I'm drunk, because I just prefer to pretend that doesn't exist. It isn't on the internet for everybody to see, and I will never watch it. So that's how I feel about my New Year's stream. But apparently people like seeing me get a few drinks. I don't know why, honestly, but I'll take it. It was a fun evening. I don't want to watch any of it back ever. Pretend it doesn't happen. Ouch said they're going to finish their Tombkeeper Battle Force and maybe making a diorama. I like those, what are they called? The Wicked Brick army cases. They are pretty cool. I've used them to put my models. I mean, it's not quite dioramic, is that a thing? You know what? He's not going to be my goal again this year, but one year my goal needs to be to paint this fucker. This is the converted Custodes Dreadnought. But obviously we can't have Librarian Dreadnoughts with wings anymore. Boo-hoo. If we ever do get one back, then maybe I'll finally get around to painting this guy. It's a pity, because he would be a cool little project to have. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. He's like sat just off camera, just out of reach. Like, I want to do him, but I just never, ever get the chance to do him, I guess. My painting is always stuff that needs to be done for tournaments, which is literally what I'm doing right now. I needed a scout with a missile launcher. I like that scouts got given knives, huh? Or, well, they had knives before, but I like how the scouts have AP on their knives. Good. I like that Blood Angel scouts can kill lots of things. Lamarta says I'm trying to paint up my last 3 Sangre Guard out of 12 for next weekend. Cool. You got a tournament or something next weekend, Lamartas? So the only reason I have peace this afternoon is that my kids, they're watching Transformers 1. And I wasn't sure when I put it on. I was like, this could go either way. Like, my daughter is 5 and she might just not be at all interested in Transformers. But Transformers 1, I think, was a great movie. If you haven't seen it and you liked the Transformers in the 80s, you would probably like it. My kids love that Transformers 1 movie. I think this might be the 4th time they're watching it. And it's funny because when you've got young children, they don't know the names of movies. So they always say, like, my daughter said to me one day, she's like, Daddy, can we watch Star Wars with the little Wookiees? And I was like, oh yeah, I guess in Star Wars Return of the Jedi, they never actually call the Ewoks by name, right? Like, I don't think they ever say Ewoks in that movie. So, like, she didn't know they were called Ewoks, so she just said, like, can we watch Star Wars with the little Wookiees? I was like, oh yeah, I guess to a 5-year-old they do look like little Chewbacca's. Good for you. And the way that they asked today, they were like, can we watch Transformers with the one where they get their cogs? I was like, oh yeah, you can watch the one where they get their cogs, no problem. That'll give Daddy a little bit of peace this afternoon. So, Transformers 1, the cartoon, the new one that came out this year, like 1 O-N-E. It's actually really good. Oh, you're going to the Nottingham GT. Okay, wow. How many players are going there? Probably like 150, right? LJ had a mirror match with Blood Angels today. Good for learning the rules. Did you win? Highland Phoenix is building a Chimera and a Rhino for his agents. And Deathwatch. And Subductors. What are you building an Agents of Imperium army, Highland? Afternoon, Krychek. You got some repairs to do? I thought Empire Strikes Back was scary when I was a kid. Yeah, the bit at the end where the Emperor's like doing his lightning thing, that was pretty scary for a 5-year-old. Now, young Skywalker, you have paid the price for your lack of vision. Yeah, that was pretty scary. I must have watched that movie like 100 times in my life. I don't know, like, sometimes the kids are like, can we watch Star Wars with you, Dad? I'm like, you know what, I used to quite like Star Wars, but I mean, at this point, it's just seeing the same thing over and over and over. You're going to do agents. So what is the backbone of your agents army then? Because I've got the Agent Codex. Because I made that video about make the video about the Deathwatch, adding the Deathwatch to your Blood Angels, remember? I don't know if you saw the video, but I did make a video about Deathwatch and Blood Angels, right? What's the most decadent thing you guys have eaten over 3 Warclavies? Okay. I don't know if that really counts, Highland. Are you not just like knights with a sprinkling of agents on top now? I was going to say, what's the most decadent thing that people had for dinner or for food over Christmas? Did anyone ever have anything ridiculous? We made some cinnamon rolls that were like to die for. It feels like the winter holiday. And then we went sledging. Do you know what? Our kids really enjoyed going sledging. So we did sledging. We ate too much sugar. And that's kind of standard here in Scotland, I guess, for what you do in Christmas holidays. You eat too much and you go sledging. There was very little snow, actually. We had like 2 days of snow. Am I planning on hosting a GT again this year? Do you know what? We did talk about it after last year's one, Lamartis, because obviously, like, a lot of people came that we'd never met before. I guess, like from the community, we met. You know, a bunch of people came that we'd never met before. It sold out basically. I think it sold out within like, let's say 12 hours. I think every ticket bar one was sold out in the first 24 hours. So maybe it did take 24. But like it felt like it sold out very quickly. Because I think we put it up like at least, I want to say at least like 2 or 3 months in advance. And it was sold out in like the first day. So yeah, I mean, in terms of like meeting people from the community and hosting a GT, it was cool. I kind of think that we're, you know, like when we did it, we obviously, I talked to the Plastic Crackhead guys about it. Their thought was that we should do it again. I haven't spoken to the Plastic Crackhead guys much this year, but I mean, I will start speaking to them when we do battle reports and stuff in the new year. And I know that Andrew for sure is going to the same GT that I'm going to in January. So I mean, I'll see Andrew in January. So yeah, we'll probably do a GT this year. It'll probably be school holiday time again, maybe. Does that seem to work well for us last year, just because everybody, like most of us, have kids, so a weekend. Oh, maybe it wasn't quite school holidays, but yeah, probably June, maybe, or August. I'm not 100% sure when, but yeah, I think we will probably do, because it also puts a GT in our local city, which is nice. But yeah, so if we do start talking about it, and we, you know, like I start mentioning it on stream, if you do want a ticket for it, you will have to be quick. Because I think the venue we were at last year could maybe take a few more people, so we could maybe fit in like maybe 38, 40. But even then, there's like a very good chance it'll sell out within like a day or 2 days. I dined on pheasant stuffed with pears. I don't think I've ever had pheasant stuffed with pears. I dined on a 3-bird roast on Christmas Day, which is I think it was like turkey, duck, and like another bird. Then they were all stuffed with stuffing. It was quite nice. I did make Inquisitor Karmazov into a Warglaive though. Good for you. I can't believe they retired him, honestly. I guess he was resin and they decided he was too much work to bring into plastic, or... I must admit, I don't think I've ever seen an Inquisitor Karmanov on the tabletop. But so good for you, keeping the dream alive of that Karmanov, huh? So I haven't painted scouts in so friggin' long. I've got this other scout here to try and like basically copy him. It's like I cannot remember the last time. That's usually what happens with me in painting, is like paint a squad of guys and then I think I'll never need any more scouts, and then they change the rules and I'm like, ugh. I could have probably ripped an arm off of a scout, I suppose. But I knew, when I was thinking about my list for this tournament, I was like, I know I've got a scout with a missile launcher stuck on somewhere in one of my piles of shame, so let me just find him. I was like in the shower, I was thinking to myself, I was like, yeah, I've definitely got a scout with him. Need to find him. I painted up some scouts recently. They're so nice to paint. You're talking about the new scouts? Surely you're not talking about the old... Like, this is an old... This model is not the new scouts. I'll just get this guy and rebase it onto a larger base, I guess. I don't know, you know, like, in terms of, like, updating my army to all the new model sizes, I'm probably going to be a real stickler, and I'm going to stick with a lot of the models that I own for, like, probably longer than is socially acceptable. Because I don't really see the point in redoing entire... Like, like, scouts don't do anything on the battlefield except come in and do actions for the most of the part, right? Oh, you were painting old scouts as well? Cool. So you've PM'd me a picture of the Inquisitor Karmanov conversion. Let's have a look. Okay, I like it. It's like a it's like a duck. That's a multi-melter? I can't even think what that is. I take it that model wasn't made when you started doing the conversion. That's great, man. I love it. The only negative is you would have had to buy a whole armature so you could make this, right? How much? I was gonna say, how much super glue did you end? What the hell is this up here? This is like a triple melter gun. I guess he's got the right weapons on him. It's very orc coded. Yeah, it's very haphazard, but it's also very cool. Good job on keeping. That might be my favorite conversion I've seen in a hot minute, dude. I like keeping all the old models and sculpts alive. I think it's so sad that some of them are like disappearing and or dead, whatever you. The pity there wasn't anything like that we could do, that we could realistically do with Librarian Dreadnought. You know that? Because I think all the Blood Angels players are a little bit sad that like Librarian Dreadnought is gone or disappeared or as legends did or yeah, no, that's dope, dude. Good effort. I like it. Fallen Angel. Looking to start my first army, very new. I'm going to order the Blood Angels Combat Patrol on Tuesday after finding this channel. There you go. Welcome, Fallen Angel. If you haven't subscribed, please do consider doing that. We also have a Discord. A lot of useful help in the Discord. Also, we got like perks for channel membership and stuff like that as well. So, welcome. There's always a bit of an influx. I was going to say, at Christmas time, some people always get some Space Marines. They want to join the best faction. They find the Blood Angel. I'd buy a Brutalis Librarian Dreadnought. Yeah, it would have been nice if they'd done something with Librarian Dreadnought in the Codex. I really think so. You know, like I feel like he was one of the most iconic things that we had. Oh well, he had his 10 minutes of fame in the sun for 10th edition, didn't he? Kevin says we'll think we see the Librarian Dreadnought back in 11th or not. Let's hope. I was going to say, I mean, we'll probably get at least like we'll probably get at least one new model in 11th, right? Like a range refresh we just had recently was like a bigger one, but I feel like that means that 11th edition we might get like one new model. Probably be a character. See, if it's one new model and it's a character, it'll probably be Gabriel Seth, right? Or at least that's what I would have thought. What camera do I use? What, the overhead camera? Afternoon discussing the Resilient anyway. Is anyone doing anything with their Furioso and Death Company box knots? Mine are sitting in a cupboard and unlikely to come out, scrub. I mean, I'm not doing anything with them. Did I put one of them? I've got a display case up there. I put my Librarian Dreadnought into my display case that's on the top shelf. The overhead camera that I use is my iPhone. But it doesn't need to be an iPhone disgustingly resilient. You can use any smartphone with a camera. You just get an app for it and then plug it into your computer via like USB. There's an app called Droid Cam. There's an app called Irium. If you DM me on Discord, I can send you the app names. Is the guide from 2 months ago still viable as an upgrade path for 1,000 points? The guide from taking the combat patrol. Let me think. Oh, let me just remind myself what that video was. Drive. Combat patrol. I hate Google Drive search. It's the worst thing in the world, honestly. So I searched Combat Patrol, there is no... Oh, I'm logged into the wrong game. Combat Patrol. Oh, it's right there. Starting Blood Angels with a Combat Patrol. So adding Dante is still a good choice. Adding an Impulsor is still a good choice. Adding a unit of Jumpus Intercessors is still a good choice. What did the list look like? Dante plus 3 Sangre Guard, 3 Sangre Guard, 5 on foot with the Captain, Impulsor, 5 Assault Intercessors on foot, 5 Jump. A Gladiator Lancer is still a good choice. Astaroth is probably not the greatest choice anymore. Not many people run him. Blade Guard are a good choice. More Jump Intercessors are a good choice. Yeah, if you've watched that video recently, just score out that bit about Astaroth. He's not bad, but he's probably the weakest of all the options. What do we think about Triple Redemptor for Blood Angels? They're so expensive, man. 205 points. Like, I think you'd be better with Triple Vindicator tank. I feel like the Vindicator's tanks do more damage and they're cheaper. I got 3 Redemptors and I've got them all fully painted as well, but I just don't play any of them. I've not used... This is a tub of paint I've not used in ages, and of course the paint pot is all gunked up, as is typical of Games Workshop paints. I was lucky enough to be gifted a Land Raider for Christmas. That's a pretty nice present. Land Raiders are good. They fit into Blood Angels just fine. What do you mean? You just need to find something that goes inside them. There's lots of stuff that goes inside them. Blade Guard, Sangre Guard, Terminators. That's probably what I put in a Land Raider. Oh, Centurions too. Not many people have Centurions though. God, I hate these paint pots, man. The worst. All this wasted paint. There we go. Look at all that. Freaking waste of paint. Honestly, the worst paint pots. Just put them in damn dropper bottles, honestly. Other companies do it. Just like you shake them and you don't close them properly, you get gunked up. Ugh. I'm going to give the new detachment or Whirl Disgustingly Resilient after this month, because I've got a GT in 2 weeks' time. I'm going to GT 2 weeks today, actually. And I've only been practicing Liberator Assault Group. I'm not even sure I feel super confident about Liberator Assault Group or my list. Look at all this wasted paint. Look at this shit. When will Games Workshop realise that these paint pots suck? I'm gonna wash my hands. 1 second. You know, no one else is saying it. I need to just make a video. It's like, Games Workshop, do better. Your paint pots suck. Wasted paint. Wasted paint. Wasted paint. Did you see Auspex today arguing Sternguard or a stealth assault unit? Oh, because they get to reroll their hits and wounds, and they can... No, I actually... I must admit I haven't watched an Auspex Tactics video in the last couple of weeks. Maybe... You know, YouTube's a bit funny, right, about that, right? Like, if you miss a few If you miss a few videos by a creator, then they just don't appear in your feed for a while. And Auspex Tactics is a channel where I'm more likely to search for a specific video than like just watch all his new videos, I guess. Because I don't watch all his new videos every time they come out, I guess the YouTube algorithm decides that I don't really care about his videos, and then when I go to my YouTube feed, they're just never there, honestly. But, you know, the YouTube algorithm is very smart and it knows you better than you know yourself. I must admit, I've been watching tons of exercise content as of late. I'm on a real health kick the last 6 months. So it's probably just YouTube has just been serving me like exercise video after exercise video after exercise video, and I haven't been watching Auspex Tactics for a while. I know check out your fitness channel in Discord from time to time, it needs more life. I mean, I do check it out every few days. I did post a workout in it like the other day. But yeah, I mean, like, if you put the Sternguard with like a captain and or a sanguinary priest, I feel like they're not bad, right? Yeah, I think someone was saying like 6 months ago, if you gave the Sternguard a sanguinary priest, then they have AP, and with AP they're a bit interesting in melee, and then there is the argument you could add the captain as well for the full hits and wound rerolls. I mean, I don't feel like the Sternguard are a bad choice. Really in any shape or form for Blood Angels, and they do have devastating wound bolters as well. I wouldn't run them with combi weapons, I'd run them with the bolters. But yeah, I mean, I haven't run Sternguard, but I think they're interesting at least, right? I think I saw an Art of War video where they had the Sternguard attached to... Maybe it was I think it was a Librarian detachment where they had the Sternguard attached. . 'Cause Hello, Steel Rain. Good morning. You know what? I was managed to break a hard drive over the Christmas holidays. I was trying to plug in this new microphone, which I'm not even convinced is marginally better than my old one. Anyway, trying to plug in this new microphone, and I accidentally was like leaning over the back of my desk, and I leant on an external hard drive that I had that was plugged in. I didn't even know this was a thing. Apparently, if you put pressure on the external hard drive, you can the hard drives are metal, but I leant on it with too much body weight and like basically fucked the hard drive, because basically like I did this thing called like stick. I think it's called. I don't exactly know how it's pronounced. It's called like sticktation, where like I managed to basically push the drive head into the drive, so it was like stuck against it, and it wouldn't like the drive can't spin anymore. So I was like, oh my god, John, you're an idiot, you know. But so I had to take the whole hard drive apart. I learned something about taking hard drives apart and about how to unstick their heads, and that meant I was on my old computer. And on the plus side, let me see, where is it? I think I have it on my desktop. I did find an old meme. Where is it? I think it's an old meme that you made. Steel Rain. I mean, I think it was lost. I thought it was lost. I thought it was completely lost. Here it is. I'm pretty sure you made it. But I was like, when I was looking through the old computer to try and find, I was basically trying to copy some data off that hard drive before the hard drive died. Like, I had some family photos and stuff on it that I just used. Marcel, Evan, good afternoon, see you. Greetings, Pound, how you doing? Any opinions on the foil rumours about Blood Angels Terminators coming the box set? Oh my god. If you guys get 2 seconds, please like on the stream. We're at 32 likes, we've got 57 people watching. There's been rumours about those assault Terminators now. Since like... That Blood Angels Assault Terminator set has been rumoured for like 2 years at this point. I think I'm at the point where like I've just fallen out of following the rumour content, man. Because it just is that. It's rumour content, and it's like I guess it's exciting and it gets lots of views, but like I'm sure when Leviathan was first announced, the rumor was that like the Leviathan box was going to be Blood Angels Terminator. Like that would so. How long ago was that? Like 2 years, Peter. That like so 2 years ago it was potentially that, you know, the Blood Angels Terminators are getting an assault kit. I kind of feel like we've had our models for 10th edition, right? Like we had our refresh. I don't know why we would be getting assault Terminators. I mean, I think the current Assault Terminator kits are nice, but like I think the Assault Terminator rules right now kind of suck. Yeah, it does seem like in the future there will be Assault Terminators. I mean, it would make sense because everything is getting Primarisized, whether you like it or not. But when it will be, who knows? I guess, and that's a rumor that's like 2 years old at this point. It's like that was mentioned. It might be back. It might not be back. That is definitely like, you know, that's like that thing from Star Wars where they're like, it's an old meme, sir, but it checks out. Yeah, it's a super old rumor. The Assault Terminators. There could be a Space Hulk refresh. Yeah, I mean it's been a lot of years since we got some new Space Hulk, so I guess there could be some sort of Space Hulk refresh. Yes. Whether that'll carry over to 40k rules or not, who knows at this point. Hello Greg, how you doing? Assault Terminators just being able to take all sorts of weapons. I think Assault Terminators just shouldn't have weapon skill 4 on their Thunderhammers, honestly. I think if their Thunderhammers were maybe like... weapon skill 3 up, Assault Terminators might actually be okay. I think with weapon skill 4 up, they're just pretty rubbish. Especially if you fight Death Guard or something, they make you -1 to hit, and then they got Nurglings around, or sorry, they make you -1 weapon skill, and then they've got Nurglings around which make you -1 to hit, so what? Your Assault Terminators with Thunderhammers only hit on 6s? Like at that point, they're just unplayable. But I've got another paint pot here that's absolutely crammed with paint in the seam again. Ugh. But don't get me wrong, I'd like some new Assault Terminators. But would I like... I think I'd just like rules that are good for Assault Terminators. I think that's my problem is... just like good Assault Terminator rules, and then the models are secondary to that. I mean, the current kit's pretty... it was one of the better kits. People loved the Blood Angels Assault Terminator kit. Like, it wasn't a bad looking kit. I do think people generally quite like that kit. Had a lot of customization. Do they still sell it? Because it's still on the Games Workshop website, the old Assault Terminator kit. Probably, right? Take the cap off and flip it inside out. Yeah, I know you can flip those Games Workshop paint caps inside out, and it does. It's usually quite a messy way, and then you have to cut the cap off, which is a pain in the arse. I just wish that I'll make a video at one point complaining about Games Workshop paint pots, and then I was going to say, and nothing will change, but I'll make the video. If Assault Terminators had the same rule as normal Terminators, they'd be awesome. I think they would be much improved, Phil. I think you're right. Would the Thunderhammers being weapon skill 4 up be a problem if they had the same rule as the other Terminators? At this point, we're waiting on the new Blackstone Fortress. Are they still updating Blackstone Fortress, or would it be a brand new game? I never actually got Blackstone Fortress. One of the Kev from the Plastic Crackheads got it, and he did invite me to play it, but I didn't play it for whatever reason. Probably just busy when he was doing it. So no, I've never actually played Blackstone Fortress, but I know they were updating it for at least a little while, right? Are they still updating it? Or there was like expansions and stuff. They would hit on 3s against those target. Yeah, I know they would hit on 3s against those target, Phil. I'm guessing, like, if they hit on 3s against those target, do you think that would make them viable? I guess is more my question. What tanks and dreadnoughts do I have? Dude, I've got the biggest Blood Angels tank out of everybody. You know that, right? I got, I was gonna say, I basically had like 2 of every tank. 2 Vindicator tanks. Actually, I think I've got 5 Predator tanks. 2 2 balls, 2 destructors, an annihilator. I've got 3 Redemptor Dreadnoughts, I've got 2 Ballistus Dreadnoughts. I have a lot of, well, I mean, I had a lot of Forge World Dreadnoughts as well. I had 2 Relic Contemptors. I also had Forge World tanks as well. Sad times that the Forge World tanks are gone. You know, it's been a long time since I got my, I don't know if I've ever taken my Forge World tank back out of its display case, you know that? I don't think he's ever been out. I've got a Terrax Siege Drill up there as well. There you go. There's a big tank. Compare it to my Scout that I'm working on. You know, before they legended it, this cannon here, I believe its damage is 12 damage, devastating wounds. It gets D3 plus 1 shots. And this, I mean, this tank also has 8 las cannons on it, so that's nice. So 8 las cannons, twin linked volcano cannon. The guy on top, who's a conversion, he used to have 2 heavy bolters, so I cut his arms off and stuck like the muzzle of a heavy bolter onto each arm. Give him like aggressor arms, so he's got like a little feed going in for the bullets underneath. Magnetized him on top. You can have a flamer on this tank, so you could flip him out and put a flamer on instead if you wanted. I think this cost 190 or something when I bought it. It's like 250 now. So you know what the saddest part of it was though? That was like my big centerpiece model. You know, like, because Blood Angels don't have a Primarch. That was like my big one centerpiece model. It was kind of the pride and joy of my army, and then it just, boom, legend. And the thing is, it wasn't even really that competitive a choice. It was just a cool thing to have that could, like, center my entire army around, like, hey, this is my one big huge thing that, like, it wasn't, like, it was so uncompetitive, I never took it to a single tournament with it. I mean, I'll probably regret the fact that I never took it to a tournament. But like, that was the thing with Legends, like the Forge World tanks and stuff. They weren't really designed to be competitive. They were designed to be fun. But I mean, I go to a lot of tournaments and I take wacky stuff to tournaments. But I never once took the Falchion to a tournament. Used a lot on stream back in the day. When my channel was first starting out, I used it an awful lot. It's the Windstreak tank. Yeah, you're right, it was the Windstreak tank. Alright, I'm probably now on borrowed time and hear my kids run around. That probably means that the movie we put on for them has finished. And we'll need to go deal with them pretty soon, so... yeah, 5 more minutes on the stream, I think. I'm trying to find an opponent for Wednesday night. We can get back onto the weekly battle reports. Plus, I think Wednesday night would be the last time I get a practice game before this tournament, because the lists would need to be submitted like this Friday. So hopefully I can get a game on Wednesday. I've got good ideas for the tactics video, so you should see regular content, and then the Army List show kick off next week as well. That movie finished, love. Charlie.
What?
Is that movie finished?
No, they're
kind of done with it. Let's do an Elsa. Be down in a minute. Okay.
I fixed you.
Okay. Thank you. John, I'm building 3 Inceptors. Have you magnetized arms for plasma bolters? Any advice? I think if you're making them right now, you kind of have to make them with the plasmas, because plasmas are just more versatile and or better, and the bolters are too expensive to field. I didn't magnetize mine. I have 1 squad of 3 plasmas, 1 squad of 3 bolters. But I think like if you're wanting them for a competitive sense, it's got to be plasma. But then I think Games Workshop know. I hope they know. I mean, I feel like they're a little bit out of touch with balance stuff sometimes, but I hope they know that like certain units like Inceptors, like Aggressors, that have 2 weapon options, and 1 weapon option is just massively better. I hope they know that 1 weapon option is massively better, and in the future they maybe do something to fix that. I hope. I think so. Like, there could be value in magnetizing them. Most of the people in chat would probably recommend you magnetize them, because otherwise you'll be here in 6 months' time buying more Inceptors if they do change the rules over. But yeah, right now I think plasmas are much better, but I've taken Inceptors twice to tournaments, and both times I took them to tournaments it was with bolters, and it was when they were cheaper. So like the bolter ones were whatever, you know, they were like 90 points when the plasma ones were like 130 points. So I was like, well, I quite like Inceptors, I'll use the bolter ones. So I've been to tournaments with the bolter ones. I personally have never been to a tournament with the plasma. But I think that's just if Games Workshop don't fix the points, the variant points between the weapon options, then I guess I don't see how bolters will ever be competitive. But who knows, right? Certainly not me. There's been a few hints that they might return to some sort of war gear points. But yeah, there's just some weapons and there's some options on units that it just makes no sense to have them at the same points cost. So I mean, I think we can cross our fingers and hope that's something that might happen. But when it might happen is completely unknown, so I'm going to say if you're building them just now and you're thinking about magnetizing them, and let's face it, Inceptors aren't exactly a cheap squad. It's like $40 for 3 guys. It might be worth just saying, yeah, you know what, I really should. don't know why I made this scout with his head helmetless. I kind of hate painting. Apparently, I mean, this is an old scout. He's probably made 8 years ago. He's been made with a helmetless head, so the incisors are chunky, so magnetizing should be easier. Yeah, I mean, it's... Here's another thing you could do, Robert. Was it Robert that asked? No, Peter. And this is something that I did on my recent squad of Sol intercessors. I just made the sergeant with both weapon options, right? So it's like I made my assault intercessor sergeant. He has a power sword in one hand and a power fist in the other hand, and obviously he's got a holster for a pistol. So I just write on it what he is, you know, like so whenever I come to the tabletop, he's equipped with either a power sword or a power fist, but the model's holding both. So technically, you could make your Inceptors. You could glue one arm on a bolter, one arm on a plasma, right? And then on your army list, you just write what it is: plasma Inceptors. Job's done. You know, like I think Games Workshop changed the rules so often, and everything changed. Like it got to a point where like it became impossible for me to keep up. What do we think about a combi weapon lieutenant instead of the second scout squad? I think it's totally fine. Some people really like that combi weapon lieutenant, especially because he's lone operative, right? If he fits your playstyle, then absolutely, I don't see any... If you've already got scouts, then I think he's fine. Probably a good pick, actually. His ability's pretty nice. Good afternoon, Christian. What list am I running right now? I was going to say it's on my phone. I'm going to have to kill the stream in a second anyway. But if you give me 2 seconds, I'll take my phone down from the tripod that's on and I'll read what's in my list. It's a pretty simple list. Actually, I might have it in text format if you want to see it. It probably doesn't have enough Sanguinary Guard for you, Steel Rain. It's only got 9. I've kind of struggled to, you know, like, I guess when Sons of Sanguinius got that buff, you know, the +2 strength buff, I felt like I made a pretty great Sons of Sanguinius list. I guess back then we had the Death Company, and we know the Death Company were borderline overpowered, maybe. So it's like I felt like I made a really great list, but I mean, I guess it helps when you've got borderline overpowered Death Company. But I feel like I've struggled to make that like really great list with Liberator Assault Group as I did with Sons of Sanguinius. Not from lack of trying, just from... Or maybe it's just the meta's adapted and I'm struggling against the things that maybe the meta... Just, yes, struggling against things that are in the meta. I think I did beat the Thousand Suns though. Yeah, I beat Thousand Suns. I think I beat Death Guard twice. They maybe beat me once. I did lose twice to World Eaters. One of the games was like I should have won it. I think the second game Angron came back 3 times. Angron coming back is just obnoxious. I don't like it. Alright, I think I gotta call this stream and go deal with my kids. But yeah, give me 1 second and I'll You have a good New Year, Steel Rain. I was gonna say, if you were in the New Year stream, I'm sorry, I honestly don't. I don't remember too much of the New Year stream. I feel like you were there, Highland Phoenix. But yeah, New Year for me was definitely a bit blurry. Well, it wasn't a bit blurry. Let's say very blurry. Not much was remembered. I feel like I woke up with regret. You know that feeling? Have I considered making a Blood Angels army, a Liberator Assault army with no Blood Angels units to get the Oath of the Moment buff? I haven't really considered that myself, but I know it's good. I like playing Sangreguard. The Sangreguard and Dante kind of carried me to my last BT win. I was probably going to try and have them do that again. I don't know if they will. But obviously, quite like playing Sangreguard. I'd have to drop them to do that. Don't know if I want to necessarily drop them. I feel like I don't. But no, I think if you've got enough Blade Guard and Terminators and stuff, the Oath of Moment buff is pretty nice. Yeah, it's a shorter stream today. It's usually the evening streams when my kids are in bed. That's when they're allowed to do a more sizable stream. New Year's stream was fun. I'm glad you liked it. Like I said, I woke up with regret, and I will never watch that stream. I feel like bad enough when you're drunk. You don't want to. You don't want to know what happened. You know, towards it. Alright, we have a somewhat rubbish, I was going to say, quick and cheerful out with a missile launcher. I have to get a couple more coats and stuff on him before this tournament, get base paints on him. But surprisingly, I did not own a scout with a missile launcher. Is a surprise, because I feel like most of the models that, or well, at least a painted one I get. Hello Tom, how are you doing? So hopefully I'll be live on Wednesday night with the battle report. Let me get that on. Let me just do this base round. Right, we'll be fine. Let's see. It's on my phone. Alright, it is. Alright, the list is, I don't know if it's a good list, but this is a list I'm going to probably take to the tournament. A captain with a jump pack, a chaplain, and Dante. So 4 characters. 2 impulsors, 1 unit of jump intercessors, 1 ballista shred, 1 unit of 6 blade guard, 1 unit of company heroes, 1 unit of infiltrators, outriders, destructors, 2 squads of sanguinary guard, a 6 and a 3, a squad of scouts, and a vindicator tank. Basically, you've got 3 tanks, 1 scout, 1 outriders, 1 jump assault intercessors. That's your scoring units. The 2 impulsors, infiltrators for the home field, 2 units of sand guard, 1 led by Dante, 1 led by Captain, unit of blade guard led by the fight first chaplain, and then the company heroes led by the 9 attacks devastating wounds captain. Our outriders good now. I mean, I think they were already pretty decent, but yeah, I mean, strength 7, 2 damage, 15 attacks. It's not bad. They can do 80-point squad can do 30 damage. Who am I playing on Wednesday? I don't know. I just put a message in the Plastic Crackheads channel saying, "Is anyone free on Wednesday?" So I had no idea. No one replied yet. I only did that this morning as well. So no idea as of yet. Am I thinking about putting Val Predators? No, but I know that a lot of people like Val Predators, and I think they're not bad. So thanks for hanging out today. I'll hopefully be live at some point in the next few days again. The holiday is kind of over. The tactics videos will be coming. I hope you all have a great afternoon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you hopefully Wednesday night. Leave a like on the stream if you get 2 seconds. Thanks so much. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Do all the YouTube stuff. Alright. See you guys later. Peace. Bye. Hmm.